here's the thing. If you saw last week, they basically look, I admit, Dan is in an unwinnable position right now. Him and Kash Patel did what appeared to be like a hostage video where they basically said, there's nothing weird going on with Jeffrey's case. There's nothing weird going on with what happened in Butler. You guys, I mean, they didn't say you guys are all crazy, but they basically dismissed it. Yeah, they implied that, what are you guys talking about? There's just nothing there, which is wild. There are two ways they could have handled this and, like, I think avoided the ire of their. First of all, both of these individuals built their platforms asserting as fact that there is more to the Butler incident and to the Jeffries case. Both of them. And so they could have come out and said, you know, by the way, they said this and they didn't admit that they were wrong. So if they had said, we were wrong, we saw the files, there's nothing there, maybe it got deleted before we took office, I don't know, but I've seen all there is and there's just nothing there. Based on what I've seen, I was wrong. I would have accepted that. They didn't do that. They said, we're wrong. Everyone else is wrong, even though both of these individuals grew their entire careers, you know, saying, oh, absolutely, there's something going on with Butler. On top of that, Dan Bongino and Kash Patel have fired exactly 0 people. So if there was no there, as Dan Bongino said, with the Butler attempt on Donald Trump's life, if it was truly just widespread, you know, the Swiss cheese theory of incompetence, then at the very minimum, every single person who was there should be fired. And they didn't do that either. You tell me that this, like, SIDS looking, you know, fetal alcohol syndrome looking kid walked in, had a rangefinder, climbed up on a roof, flew a drone, nobody saw them. Fine. If there's no there, Dan Bongino, then why haven't you fired each and every one of them? Like, and then today they put out this enraging tweet. We're like, hey, we're going to reopen the cocaine in the White House thing. Who cares about? Nobody cares about. By the way, this is also clearly damage control. Like, oh, well, they wanted the DC pipe bomb thing. They're never going to find anything with that. First of all, the DC pipe bomb thing, the cocaine thing, and then there was one other thing. They did not talk about any of the legal persecution of Donald Trump. They're not looking into, Letitia James. They're not looking into these losers in Georgia. Whatever happened to them? These two people from Georgia who were banging each other, and then they put together this RICO case. They're not investigating that. No. They think that the Biden cocaine. Nobody cares. And like,
it's trying to score like kind of cheap, politically aligned points back after that interview. I mean, the interview is so weird, and I thought about it so much after we talked about it last week, just because it looks uncomfortable for everyone involved, and then on top of that, it is as if they are trying to pretend they have amnesia and don't acknowledge anything.
Right.
And now it's like, oh, well, we'll just calm these people down by redirecting things to being like Biden administration bad. It sort of cheapens everything they're doing for me. It reminds me of when Pam Bondi, really
files
messed
are on my
up.
desk.
Right. She messed up then, and it was bad optics with the like binder walk that they had. And then she kept doing Fox News interviews, and we were all like, please stop. You're just making this worse. Like, it doesn't make you seem more credible. It seems like you're trying to play to this audience. You're trying to redirect everything. And in some ways, like, now I just know we're never going to know what happened with the cocaine, because you guys seem to be playing with smoke and mirrors.
And the thing about the cocaine is, like, it could have been anybody's. How many people go through that building a day on tours? How many people a day go you know what I mean? Like that, I mean, shocker. People in DC do blow. News at 11. Like, I don't, that's a total nothing burger story. I don't even remember if I did a video on it at the time. I probably did. But like the DC pipe bomb thing very obviously was a DC person, a government official or a Fed, in my opinion. Which is why we're never going to get any evidence there either. So Dan Bongino, by the way, sorry I'm like on one here, but like he also did the cowardly thing on his. I replied, a dime bag of coke was more pressing than Epstein. Got it. He did this on his other post. Did he block me yet? He unfollowed me, but okay, so he hasn't blocked me yet. He got like ratioed into oblivion on his like where is it on that post? Let me find that. Because he obviously doesn't run his own Twitter account, which is pathetic. Most of these big
But it's
people
so
don't.
normal. So many people
I
don't.
know. I hate it.
You guys know I run mine because nothing happens on it.
Yeah. I run mine too. Like I'm not gonna pay somebody to do. Where is that post? When did he post that?
I just think the FBI is so corrupt and that it didn't matter how many cash patels that we could get. There was no actually exposing what's going on. We're not going to get the actual Epstein list or anything like that because at the end of the day, the FBI is extremely corrupt. There is a lot of corruption going on in the government itself, and that's just the nature of things. We see what they let us see. Even when you look at look what's going on with like this P Diddy stuff.
I know, what a nothing
It's
burger
just
that
like
turned out to be.
we see what they let us see, and that's it. There's corruption going on like just at large with the wealthy, the celebrities, the government, the FBI, all this stuff. And so whenever we do get a glimpse of some corruption going on, we only see a little bit of it. They don't actually show us a lot. They allow some fall guys to cover up the people behind the scenes that they don't want to truly get exposed. So unfortunately, that's just the nature of things. And we're not going to see a lot of the truth anytime soon.
Well,
I think that's one of the reasons the morale is low. Sorry, Jeremy.
No, go ahead.
It like breaks the people who championed Dan Bongino in particular because he had such a large audience through his independent media channels, but also people who championed Kash Patel when he was going through confirmation. They believed these people could go into the FBI and to this federal bureaucracy and stay true to what they were saying and change it from within. And the interview with Fox or the interview really made it seem like they were the ones that were changed, that they have been basically pushed into submission. And obviously I want to be more optimistic than that. But they would have had to reveal new information, or they would have had to be able to say, I believe this, I changed my mind, here is specifically why. And that's not what's happening. And I think that is what's going to be what resonates with people, that no matter what they say, once you send them to the FBI, they are the ones who conform to the bureaucracy's will.
Tim this morning postulated, and yes, it's possible. He basically said, look, Dan left a $10 million, $20 million a year podcast to go work for the state. I mean, it's possible that he walked in and like, here's the horrible, horrible truth. You can't tell people. Now, if you release this, all sorts of bad things are going to happen in America. Maybe an XYZ country is behind, the Jeffrey thing, or he even said maybe Kamala. What if Kamala was behind the Butler thing? And, releasing this would destroy the Democratic Party and cause all this stuff. To me, I don't care. Let it burn. They should release it. But, people are saying, you know what? They probably got told, here you go. This is, now you see the problem. This most favored nation was behind Jeffrey. And if we tell the truth, then X, Y, and Z is going to happen. I don't give that a lot of credence, but a lot of people are kind of saying that. Like, we have to give them benefit of the doubt because they went in there and they realized, oh yeah, I actually can't change this. It's really easy for us to sit on a podcast and say, I'd release this information.
Right.
But I don't know what they actually saw.
I think it's fair to have empathy for them. I don't think that you can assume anything either way, that they were you know, they're having to do this for some other altruistic reason, or that they completely changed their mind because they're power hungry, or like whatever you want to assume. You have no idea what happened. You just have to look at the facts and say, this is somewhere that we are not getting information, and that's disappointing. It doesn't matter why they made the decisions they did, or why they're opting not to reveal information, or what kind of pressure. You can make your own judgment later on those two individuals. Like, these issues are now stagnant. If you care a lot about what's the Jeffrey stuff, you're not getting information. If you care a lot about other issues with the FBI, that's kind of it for now.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I mean, Dan did the thing too where he was hiding replies. Like,
Oh wow.
that's not. I just realized that I have Joe Rogan on the screen and not like. And he like Dan put out this tweet where he's like, you know, it was really weird. It was like, you know, I'm the truth, and always have the truth, or whatever that case may be. Wait, let me share this. Which, of course, like, hilariously backfired. Like, he put out that tweet the day after that Fox interview, and people are like, bro, how about no? Like, that's not right. You know, you're not. Oh, no, I did have it up. Okay.
Yeah.
So he hid all these replies. And they're like, why did you lie about Epstein? You literally sold your soul. You're the deep state. I mean, he was hiding hundreds of replies. These are all hidden, and they're not like porn or anything like bad. They're
Right.
just like, that's a bad look.
Mm-hmm.
That's a bad look, Dan. Like, hiding people critical of you.
Well, and that's the thing, is when people do that, they hide replies like that, then you're just giving people a curated list of all the tea. That's
Yeah,
like-
right. Yeah.
If
Yeah.
you
That's a
ignore
great way to
it,
describe
they're gonna have to filter through it more. But you just made it easy for them.
Yeah, I think Dan was probably having a melty bee when he
Yeah,
was like,
I think so.
like, you don't hide. And again, like, less tweeting, more arresting. Why did they hide that? Like, he was just hiding very like normal, like, critical, you know, they're
He's
not.
just making it worse for himself, and it's
Yeah.
sort of like, why are you doing this? But maybe the why doesn't matter. Like, this is just what's happening. You can't try to figure out their motivations, whether they are good or pressure. I remember at one point we were talking about, like, maybe they're being blackmailed into doing this. Like, it doesn't really matter. This is the results, and it's just disappointing, I think, for a lot of people.
Yeah, I mean, this is just, we're not getting it. We're not getting the Epstein list. We're not getting. I mean, Pam Bondi said, this woman lied. She said she had a truckload. You know how many documents she's released? Unless that truck was a Micro Machine or a Hot Wheels, she has not released anything. You couldn't pull one document that didn't have anybody's information. Be like, here's a small sample. It's been 3 months. And everyone's just like, well, we got screwed again. Like, because that's kind of the only thing you can do. You know, I know a lot of people puff out their chest and say, well, we could start, do this. Like, that ain't happening. You know, nobody's going to go forcefully take those files. And so here we are. We got Dan Bongino, our hero, hiding replies on Twitter.